morning. Keith Fusel once again joins us today on the races. Keith, we're back on the turf today.
Yes.
We had some rain overnight, but that seemed to, that ground is pretty hard to begin with. So it needed the rain, I would say.
Absolutely. A little bit more maybe,
Yep.
over the evening hours,
Right.
would be just fine. Help out the sprinkler system as well. Give that a little bit of a break. But no, yesterday, I guess, Jerome Barbosa Day here at Laurel Park. 5 winners. We're going to have some video later in the show with that, some of the stretch runs. But a phenomenal day for Barbosa. We kind of talked about a couple of weeks ago leading in. He was kind of getting back on his game. And, man, that was a culmination right there. Boom. Got it done. Got to hit the late pick 3 with him. So that was really good.
Oh, fun.
And how about the pick 5s yesterday? Early pick 5, 14,940. Late pick 5, 20,000 and some change, and they were kind of havable. The early horse and Trust kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. Had run some good races in a row. I was a little mad at him, but got it done at 1560 for Mike Gorham. But Bermuda Run, it was that Donnie Barr horse that kind of got everything going. So that was an interesting set of pick 5s though, and they keep paying here. We had one a little earlier, about a week or so ago, over 4,000. So play along that low takeout. It's huge. Keeps that money into the pools coming back to you, the better. So dive into these pick 5s, pick 4s at Laurel Park.
Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on for this afternoon. Speaking of which, that on the turf looking nice and green. Still a little bit of moisture in that track, but they did harrow it. But it is fast, but and it rode heavy from what I heard from people yesterday, Keith.
Yes, good point, Callie. This track was a little more on the sluggish side, and early on, we tried to jump sometimes with that what kind of bias we might have had. And I thought early it was definitely an outer lean. Maybe you could say that for a touch earlier in the card. Horses were carrying on from like the 3-4 path from, say, the quarter pole home. And then we see the Donnie Barr horse dictate inside. So you're like, okay, maybe it's a little bit more fair than what we thought. But just take note of those earlier races yesterday. Maybe go back and give those horses that were caught inside a long way a little bit more look next time out. But that's your card. That's your track conditions and weather looking good this afternoon.
Let's dive into that first leg of that early pick 5 in this claiming 30,000 on the turf, going a mile here for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 3, scratch in the 8 with these never 1-2 groups. You talk about the number 10 Missionaire. This is in the barn on the outside of Nolan Ramsey. Jamie Rodriguez gets the call. Yeah,
just a touch of a class drop here and out of a good race. Chelonia Pork Rolls. We've seen some of these horses go on and do well. Some back races, some numbers that really stack up well. I think he just needs to kind of hold a little form. I think last time out, little trouble early, but that class relief is going to get it done. Can time the run here at the mile distance, drops in a little bit, couple scratches, shorter field, a field of 8. I think J-Rod can navigate a trip from off the pace. Vaccination, if you look out of that race on June 9th, had a couple races sandwiched in between that poorer effort, so keying up against the right kind is Missionaire. I think he'll kind of sit back 3 or 4 out of it by the time they hit the far turn. There's a little bit of speed in here. I think Cavendish might go. Interesting, you've got this one into the mix. And Country Charlie as well. They look like part of that pace flow in today's opener.
Absolutely. 10-5 at 1-4 for Keith Fusel there in race number 1.
The 5, I think you have to give a look to Wicked Secret. Looking for a little value. I've got 2 horses underneath here at 8-1 on morning line. Wicked Secret, the 4 penny loafer, and even Wired In. You see where I'm going here. Shorter price, I think Missionaire right on, spot on with that morning line of 7-5. But Wicked Secret was caught in behind horses early, really wide, making that run. Coming back here, reunited with Lynch. Knows this guy for Hugh McMahon. Penny Loafer, interesting. It's kind of improved here now with Hammy off of a break. The alone turf try wasn't great, but there is some turf in the family. The full sib, I think topped at a 70 going long, knocked on the door a lot, may not have won. And Wired In is interesting for me. Alexandra White, maybe a little jump up, but Stellar Lute's the key. Stellar Lute came back to run big in an allowance race. So I think Wired In is just fine with the company that he has taken. The blinkers came off last time. Good effort, improved. Outside, inside, third off the bench, a lot to like at a good number here for Wired In. So maybe key a horse like that, second, third positions in your exactest tries in Super. Upside Down, man, we were talking about that one before the show for Robbie. Has had some excuses. A little bit more of a sprinting lean bottom side we were talking about.
All sprinting.
Brasino going to have to time the run perfectly for this Bales trainee.
I like the potential setup there for that one, though,
Okay.
underneath the 10-5-1-4. Keith Fusel there in race number 1. Race number 2 starts at the early pick 4. You'll have a treat later for us, Keith, in the middle pick 4, but a maiden claiming 30,000 here, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the girls, 3 to 5, scratching the rail horse Big Wanda. Keith, you have the number 4 on top in Mini-Me. Andrea Chavez gets the call here on this
We've
one.
got Mini-Me and Mini-Mo a little bit later, right? It's pretty cool. All right. Miss Alwish here. First off the claim for Corrales. It's going to go second time blinkers, second time Lasix. Just toss the last on the drop. Little bit of a suspicious drop for me, but didn't run terrible in debut. But the stat is what sticks out. Where this filly's going to, set up off the pace, I think she's going to have to be chasing Shining Spirit. Is definitely going to show some speed against this group. We'll see what the blinkers and a good break could do for Mini-Me. But Corrales, last 3 years on the dirt, Callie, 5 for 14, 36%, 9 for 14 in the money with these maidens first off the claim. Look at that ROI. 379 profitable. Andre Chavez teaming up with Corrales. That's another big number, close to 40% with an ROI hedging towards $5. I think Shining Spirit, video spotlight horse. The last time this one went 6 furlongs on a fast track at Laurel Park, ran quite well. 3 deep, Crusader Rabbit, Profittunity came back to win. I think that was Marici, and the winner was Rapoli here for Brittany Russell. But I think all in all, Shining Spirit, didn't really run, ran the same kind of number, consistent. She's running 53, 52, 52. You got what you're going to get from her. But I think a little bit better break than that race at Delaware. She's going to be into the flow here, and she holds quite well. Gorham with a winner yesterday at a good price. This one won't be close to the price as in trust. But Shining Spirit, yes, on the front, a user today at a short number. Vino from Ernie's, freshened up could be the key. We're going to get Russell today. Just lackluster off of those 2 races off the claim. Given some time to regroup, I think, Mike Drouse, very capable trainer to get this one right. I think you're going to see a much improved effort from the 3, Vino from Ernie's.
Early pick 4 starts with Keith Fusel's picks of 4, 2, 3, 5 there in that maiden, claiming 30,000. Going to race at number 3 here, going 5.5. We're back on the turf here for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 at the claiming 20,000 level. Scratching the 9 box and Ben. You have the number 4 on top, Rye Diggity Dog. This is in the barn of Hugh McMahon. Tori Alba here, looking for a second win in a row.
Yeah, a good number here. 12 to 1 morning line, a little value. Got back to the turf up there in Grantville. It's a lone turf try. Took play at Colonial against an okay field without Lasix, without blinkers. This time with Lasix, with blinkers, and was confidently handled. 3 to 4 wide, wasn't much of a field. Shifted out about 5 wide and just rolled past without much urging. I'd call that a mile drive, if you want to call it. Now, the number really doesn't stack up with some of these other ones, but I've got a bunch of chasers in here. Nielsen going to go from the inside. I think Rye Diggity Dog might be the finisher here with Tori Alba for Hugh McMahon at a good number.
You also have the number 2, P Money, underneath for Bob Caceres. Jamie Rodriguez coming over from those New York races, but coming off of a nice campaign, 49 days in between races.
You look at those comments, going 6 furlongs. A little shortening up is going to do this one a world of good. 3 to 4 wide, then 6 wide. 3 to 4 wide, then 4 wide. How about let's set up shop inside, covered up, enhance the run on a little bit of a drop. Power Attacks won like 4 in a row. That horse that beat him last time out, actually the last 2. So P Money will just kind of be lurking, I think, mid-turn. He should be turning for home, a couple lengths out of it, and ready to pounce if he's right. Nielsen going to go. Second time back on that turf last time out, dominated the field at 1 to 5. Again, could be the controlling speed, but I think there's a couple in here going to keep this one a little bit honest. He might not have it quite as easy. Had that longer run-up last time, hence the quick internals, 22:44 and some change. Video spotlight of Reap What You Sow. Alexandra White, Alberto Delgado, third off the bench. Not bad. An early bid into a pretty good pace. Just couldn't quite kick on. Battles here from the head of the lane to very deep stretch. Reap What You Sow might take a little bit further back. You've seen on his lines, he can make a run from 5-6 out of it. I think that's going to be the trip that you're going to need today. Similar, P Money, Reap What You Sow. I want to see him closer to the inside, mid-turn, and then work outward to make a run. If they find a seam inside, go ahead and do that. That will help their chances through that final 1/8 of a mile staying inside, little 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 1, 3, however you want to call it. Now, McMahon, the last couple races on the turf, second Lasix, he's 2 for 2.
Okay, there we
All
have
right.
it. Keith Fusel 4-2-1-3 there in race number 3 on the turf. We get back to the dirt here in race number 4. It starts both Keith's middle pick 4 and my rainbow pick 6. Let's go ahead and see what ticket lines up first here.
Okay.
Let's go
Flip
ahead.
a coin.
Keith, yeah,
There
flip a
we
coin.
go.
There we go. Keith's middle pick 4 here.
Yeah, they saved the best for last.
Oh,
Yeah,
stop.
You know that here.
Oh,
all right,
don't
3,
even
4,
brown
6.
nose there.
little 3 deep here in race number 4 to get you started. Fierce competition. Little rod dog. We got Ride Diggity Dog, and we got the rod dog
I love
upstairs.
it. Yeah.
So we'll take a shot here.
Okay.
He likes fierce competition today. Race 5. 5, 6, and 7. Easter Sunday Girl. Kiss Me More. Independence Way. Single. Race 6 going to be a lot of people depending on Baracho. Looks like the controlling speed with a good break for Ness. Right back at you. Race 7's here. We're going to spread here. I think Organized Chaos, gaudy number at Parks. Going to take play. There's some speed in here to challenge. Pochi Bonsi is fresh for Kieran McGee. Man, she's awfully quick, too. 6 furlongs. Will that be the separator here for some of these horses? I like Clouds of White in here. I like White Knuckle Flyer. I go 3, 4, 6, 7 with an $18 middle pick 4 ticket.
And let's go ahead to my rainbow pick 6. I give you a $19.20 ticket. Race 4. I go 3 wide there, 1, 4, and 6. We'll get to that maiden claiming 12-5 in a second. Race number 5, I had 5 horses. We had a late scratch in the 3, so I leave it at 4. 2, 5, 7, 13. That draws in race number 7, of course, Baracho. I going for a 4th win in a row, I believe. I single on that one. And then 2 deep for the rest of the card there, a $19.20 ticket. And it does start here in race number 4 in this maiden claiming 12-5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Scratching the outside 8 horse at Bajan Boy. You go with the number 4 as well as I do. Fierce competition. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at that effort, that only effort with Hamby Smith last time out.
Yeah, so this one down at the trials with my man Jerry
There we
Romans.
go.
Fierce competition, getting a little early prep work. But let's look at this video from May 31st if we can. Bet down to 5-2, only a 5-horse field. But I thought all in all, fierce competition ran quite well.
Right.
Was up with the flow, was kind of shoved along right from the get-go to hold position. First time gelding today. We talk about that angle. It's a positive one. 268 ROI for Hammy with this kind of move. But fierce competition, stymied here slightly, upper stretch, going to run up on heels. A little bit of a pause at the 3/16 as that leader, it wasn't his fault, leader kind of shifted in a little bit. It just kind of maybe a touch green. We're going to work out. We're Jock kind of fighting with him a little bit, maybe laying in slightly. He turns on well enough for me. A race devoid of any serious speed. Maybe Category Cinco inside goes. We got Barbosa.
Yeah.
We got Barbosa on our side. Let's get up on the engine and go. Prompt the pace if we need to. I like this one. Right back, second time out.
Why not? Just for underneath, Scotty Wolfendale with Simon's Choice at Torrey Alba. Comes out, a couple of turf experiments last time out, back on the right surface, maybe back on the right distance as well.
Best race, best fig, was second gelding, going 6 furlongs over a fast track. Tried a mile, didn't work. Turf, not so good. But back here, yes, this is going to work. Torrey Alba inside-out trip. That run's going to be serious, along with ABC, who's improving nicely for the Colton Moore Barn.
There we go. And there we go. 4, 3, 6, 5, race number 4, and that's for Keith Fusel there. Race number 5 starts the late pick 5, going a mile back on the turf here for the girls, 3-5 in this maiden claiming 20,000. Plenty of scratches to keep things interesting here. Scratch in the 3, Let Me Drink. The 11, 12, and 14 scratch. The 13 runs. Keith, you have your top selection in number 5, Easter Sunday Girl, Damon Deal DeVico, Fergal Lynch. Let's take a look at that effort. Last time out was Sheldon on June 22nd.
Yeah, unfortunately, outer post, and it just couldn't get a chance, really, to get inside. So 3, 4 wide, a long way. Wasn't anything like the trip Sheldon was able to get back on May 27th at Pimlico, where he's able to kind of tuck up, save ground, work through, and just miss. Actually got clear. She got clear around mid-stretch over at Pimlico. You just see this. Hung out 3, 4 wide. This is giving up a ton of ground at the 1 1/8 distance. She's going to appreciate dropping back a furlong today. Stays towards the inside, going to break out of the 4 post with that scratch of Let Me Drink. But you know what? All in all, she makes A gutsy little run here on this left lead to challenge.
Right.
Almost poke ahead in front. Yeah, right there. Leaving mid-stretch, but flattening out late. Just took way too much out of her. Field goal here because Sheldon's going to go for Brittany's horse Independence Way, who was ultra sharp, maybe a little too keyed up with the blinkers, first blinkers last time. They might kind of tweak those blinkers a little bit to see if she settles, but she's a definite user on or near the lead. Kiss Me More. Don't know what happened last time. I'm just going to look for a rebound because her try prior behind Crone would certainly beat this group, I believe. 5'7", 6'2", Summer Ice ran well for Larry George. Loved the trip. Rail eased out. Rally might just fall into a similar kind of go today.
That's what I was kind of thinking for a value on top there for race number 5. And we'll be back after this commercial break for the rest of Saturday's card. Up and away we go here into this last half of the card here. Race number 6 starts that late pick 4 and our jackpot super high 5 here in the starter optional 12-5. Going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the number 3. Heart Full of Stars. You and I both land on Baracho here, of course. Looking for a 4th win in a row for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez. Let's take a look at that last win just on the 15th of June, but that was back at Delaware.
That was at Delaware, but this guy can kind of pick it up and go anywhere. Well-traveled. Yeah, really, 13 wins from 48 starts for this 8-year-old. A reclaim for Jamie Ness, and this guy just keeps on going. He gets the lead, and when you want to challenge him, you know, if he just gets away with a little bit up front, he's willing to dig in and repel any challenges. Going for 4 straight today, you know, I'm looking for anybody to run with him early. If he breaks cleanly, Pit Stop Man used to have a turn of foot. I don't see that anymore. Maybe Island Delight will try to send, but I think with a clean break, he clears off, is nursed up front with J-Rod, and is able to kind of make it 4 in a row at an ultra-short price. Will be below even money now, I would think, with the scratch of the 3 Heart Full of Stars at a 5-2 morning line. So all of these horses coming down. Acre, I mean, this horse ran well. I mean, 3 of the last 4 have been good. Unfortunately, has had no real duel helping him up front. Rad Paisley has got away with clean leads, clear leads, I should say. But, you know, just do his thing. Let him settle. Let him save ground. He has to work outward. He can bring a punch here through the final 3/16 of a mile. Addie's Laddie TNT back with Tori Alba. You know, might get the first run on any of the speed. And, you know, a little lackluster the last 2, but the 3-back number of a 68 puts him into the mix. 7-2. 5-4. John Hall. What about Jose Magana?
Talk about that. 2 wins yesterday for Jose Magana.
Whoa. Yeah, man, he's rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Came in with some good prices yesterday. As we move on to race number 7, back on the turf here in the starter optional 30,000, going 6 furlongs on the turf. I love this. I always love the change up in distance sometimes. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 9, Biddy Boss. You and I both go with the number 7, Clouds of White here. A little bit touch on the outside. Mike Trombetta, Fergal Lynch, 8-1. How can you not love that?
Yeah, I'm looking at, again, 6 furlongs maybe being the separator. Now, first time in a while we've kind of had this distance, right? So it's not like that deeper closer usually gets. You got to get Poe by the time they hit about the 3/16 pole and then grind it out from there. Some serious speed inside. So Organized Chaos. Let's go to the video of Organized Chaos as well. And Poji Bonsi, they're going to be the ones going out there setting sail, I would think. But Organized Chaos coming in, I think it's going to be a shorter number if we can get that video. Salgado comes in to ride for Aaron McClellan. 87 buyer in the Power by Far Stakes behind a horse that has run very big in New York, was coming off of a stakes win. Maybe we don't have that video. I'm sorry.
We do have the video.
We do?
And you called for it, right? If we could show that video, please, that would be great. Thank you. Yes.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Also including a couple of nope.
Just missed. That's all right.
Okay, anyway.
I'm going to talk about Clouds of White now. We're going to get that video for Organized Chaos. But no, third race off the break, which was a winning move for Clouds of White last season. So I think that's going to, bode well for the chances. 6 furlongs. I think this horse has run okay at a mile. 6 might hit her square right between the eyes, along with White Knuckle Flyer.
Right.
All of her best work, and she's run okay against the 2 other than competition. Works for me. I think these are the 2 that if things get heated up front, they can kind of slowly matriculate up to the lane and go by late. Maybe, but I'm going to tell you, Organized Chaos was dead game. She outran some speeds, met the challenge of a really good horse. So the road, I think, is going to go through her right around mid-stretch.
All right, 6 furlongs being a big divider
could
there.
Be a divider, yes.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Let's go back to the dirt in race number 8, going 7 furlongs. Also a distance that I love, and I think it's a bit of divider as well. In a starter optional, again, 30,000 for the girls, 3 and up. No scratches here. Keith, you and I both go with Berzina here in the barn of Jamie Ness, Abner Adorno. Let's take a look back at that last effort here on the June of 21st over at Laurel for Berzina.
Yeah, she's been really, really consistent for Ness. Was good for Kieran. Tough little break here. Jostled around at the start. You see that just pinballed in between horses on the 21st of June on a day in which speed was pretty dominant. I mean, you wanted to get up towards the front. Matitude got into the game early, and Berzina was able to recover, though, got some position, and just kept on grinding it out. Was only beaten a length and a quarter when it was all said and done. Had to do a lot of work, but out there about 4 or 5 wide the last eighth of a mile. I like to move back to 7. You've got Marvelous, some of her best races at 7. Berzina, 3 of 4 at this distance. Now, our Swerving Gervin with Barbosa, I think this is the one that's going to go ahead and gun from the inside. But Berzina with a good break gets first run on her. I think she can kind of eke it out. They should make that move. But Marvelous looks to me like she's ready to go ahead and pair up 2 of her better races. Last time a slower flow was able to, like, close enough and kept on going. I love her at the 7/8 distance. 6'4", 4'6" for me. If you're looking for a little bit, maybe Hailey B is going to be a little bit better price, I think. First time for Ness. Pistol is ablazing. Lacey Gaudette.
Right.
Interesting little couple stats here. She's 23%, second off the claim on the dirt the last couple of years. Route the sprints a move, 24% with a $5 ROI. Now, claiming off of Ness ain't the easiest thing to do.
Right.
This is a good, tough, usually very consistent mare. I think the turn back will do her some good this afternoon. Shorter field, but a competitive field. Berzina will be a very short price, but, man, she's kind of owed a win. She's been running quite well. You look at her last few races. Yeah, she wins 4 back, but it was a good try the last time out.
I like that Gaudette stat. I'm going to come back and I'm going to replay that the show here. I'm going to replay it to this moment right before I go on air in the afternoon and steal that from you there. 6-4-3-2, Keith Fustel there in race number 8. Race number 9 here for our finale. We're back on the turf here in this claiming 20,000, which have never won 2, going a mile and 16th on the turf for the girls, 3 and up. Scratching the 1, the Rail Horse Policewoman. You have the number 10 on top. On the outside, 5,2, Henry Walters, J. Ron Barbosa. Let's take a look back at that last effort when they teamed up here on the 16th of June.
As I like to say, this last race, a little bit of a scramble. You know, not a whole lot separating these fillies and mares, the condition runners on the turf. Watch this run in the yellow cap down inside. Had some trouble earlier in the race, making a little run, had a little check. And I tell you what, this horse kept on moving. Gets outside. Final comment, you know, we had to take it up sharply. I might have just missed that on the video. That's my bad. But anyhow,
it's okay.
Take it from me, a lot of trouble. And look at the willingness the last 16th of a mile. Barbosa comes back for the ride, gets a little help with the scratch, only a 9-horse field now. He'll be able to kind of work his way over, I think, by the time they hit the 5/8 pole. Henry Walters' horses have been running well. Barn is on the upswing. I think 5,2, looking at that 6, 5, 6, 8 to 1 range that she might kind of fall into. Yeah, use her to make that run today here for Henry Walters. The 6, Balenton. That's kind of maybe an all or nothing. I'm going to throw her into the mix. So I think at 8 to 1, Abner Adorno. He's still listed to ride, correct?
Yes.
Michael Moore, laying around all day. Okay, there's Arrogance Dream's going to probably go. Divine Magic with the blinkers, I think, can go. But Balenton shows positional speed. First time on the turf. This Michael Moore's brought horses down here to run well on the grass. Both siblings have won long on the turf. Top number 69-70. Something like that, a mid to higher 60 can win this. And I like her to get the jump on some of these deeper closers like 5,2. Horse like Queen of the Dance, really dominant, beating those maidens. I think confidence is high. Frock, Sneaky Goods, first off the claim. I'm going to throw that one in the mix as well. Sing Along, yes. Believe in Freedom. Blinkers on last time, an improvement. You've got this one in the mix. Will be used in my exactest tries in Super. I will key around the 10 and the 6. Looking for a little value in race 9. 8-1 morning line on the 6. 6-1 morning line on 5.2.
All right, there we go. Let's go ahead to our lightning round, highlighting a couple of value plays that you have starting in race number 3 on the number 4, Ride Diggity Dog. You just mentioned 12-1, McMahon and Tori Alba.
It was the visual, not the number. This horse dominated a field at Penn National at a shorter price, but 3 wide, 5 wide, rolled past, had plenty left in the tank. I know that second place winner came back and improved a 10-point buyer, Fig, when winning, stretching out. This one, he's got the right kind of sustainable run against this group. Maybe they get away from a little bit, but at that kind of number, if we can get close, 8, 10, 12, I will be using Ride Diggity Dog. Nielsen Setting Sail. I think Russell's going to have to go ahead and press that one, but 4 in there is I think is going to hold good value.
No, I see it, definitely. Let's also talk about race number 9. You just talked about this 5-2 Henry Walters, Barbosa, 6-1 right now on the morning line.
Horror trip, and you got a combination, and finished well despite that, and you've got a barn and a rider. Everything's going up right now.
Right.
So ride it while it's hot, I guess. Yeah.
Speaking of hot riders, let's talk about and take a look. J-Ron Barbosa winning 5 races yesterday.
Yeah.
It all started early in race number 4. But, Keith, what a roll. What a roll he was on yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Bourbon Wildcat. I was like, man, he's out there high and wide, 5 wide, Magana Factor, and just rolled. Bermuda Run, this is the interesting one. Bill had noted, my partner up there, took a lot of play. I believe it might have been a doubles or pick 3. Sneaky kind of play. Or no, it was Exactus. Anyhow. Gets it done on the front end. Odinson, the blinkers came off, was able to clear.
Just went right
I didn't see that coming. Man, Madison Myers, again, won the Kent Stakes the other day. Freeze the Fire. This was a ding-dong battle all the way around the racetrack. What a good race that was from a fan standpoint. And Daily Planet had to overcome a little adversity coming about mid-stretch. Altered course outside and got her to kind of pick it back up and roll past late for Patty Hahn Beck. Clayton's Clayton Beck. Look at him. Look at him.
There we go.
Getting the job done in the nightcap.
There we have it. Congratulations to J-Ron, of course, just getting that stellar day. We'll see what the rest of the weekend brings, and we will go to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches here for Saturday's card.
All right. Good luck, everybody.